Hey guys, welcome to Bitcoin Airsoft, and in today's video I'll be reviewing the SureFire G2X LE tactical flashlight. Okay, so this is the SureFire G2X LE version. Now this is the new model, it's a 600 lumens instead of the 320 lumens of the old models. Now the flashlight came with two CR123A batteries inside, and it's in the lock position. And what it means is they unscrew the tail cap a little bit so it doesn't connect to the battery, doesn't connect the complete circuit. So what you have to do is you have to twist it back clockwise to tighten the cap in order for the battery to connect. Now it is, as I mentioned, this is the 600 lumen version, and it features 600 lumens and 15 lumens. So in first click it is the 600 lumens, and the second click is the 15 lumens. And also you can have the temporary on features. So if you switch within a period, then it will switch to the 15 lumens, and if it's off for a few seconds, it will go back to the first settings. So this is the LE version, and there's also a Pro version. Now the Pro version is the other way around, and the first settings, the first light lumens when you turn it on is 15, and then the second one is 600, and this one is 615. So it depends on if you want it to have a high settings for your initial turn up or the low settings. So the body is made up of what they call the nitrilon body material. Now from what I can tell, I think it's a mixture of some kind of plastic with some reinforced material, and it is the narrow light reflector, so it can shine up to 187 meters. And at first I was debating between this one and the G2X Max Vision. Now the Max Vision is 800 lumens, but again, lumens doesn't mean it's brighter, but the Max Vision one is a wider area, so the maximum range I think is about 110 meters or something like that, something like that from the store. So upon comparing, I think the hotspot from these G2X LE is actually brighter than the Max Vision, just because the Max Vision has a wider area, so it has a higher lumen, but the intensity of this light I think is higher. And of course, this one is cheaper than the Max Vision, and the amount of money that I save, I can get a dozen SureFire batteries, so that's why I went ahead with this one. Now in the manual, you get the catalog from other SureFire products, and you get the battery safety use. So it basically tells you what kind of batteries they recommend. So I think they mainly recommend the Energizer, Panasonic, and Duracell batteries. And of course, as I mentioned before, one of the most expensive stickers. So the menu you can see features, this is the 615 lumens, and the intensity is 8700. And the one times, you can see the one times the waist length of the manual. So here they tell you to disable or lock up the flasher when you're not in use or when you're in transport, so it doesn't accidentally bump on the cap tail and turn on the flasher and burn something of yours. So you give it half a turn, I think it's enough. Yep, you give it half a turn and it will be in the safe transport position. So next we'll go outside and see how well it performs. And now we're testing the G2X LE flashlight. Okay, so I'm back at my house right now. The outside the street level, the long range 150 meters doesn't go so well because of there are some kind of lighting on the street, there's street light and stuff like that. So across of me, there's a wall 4 meters away, and it's about 3 meters wide. And I'm testing the SureFire G2X LE, and this is the 600 lumen. And going into 15 lumens, again 600 lumens. Okay, and now we do an indoor comparison between the M600DF Scout and the G2X LE lights. Now the left one is the Scout and the white one is the G2X. So here's the Scout, and here's the G2X. And right away you can see the hotspot is larger on the Scout than the G2X, and it's also brighter in terms of intensity. And switching to the 15 lumens. Okay, now it's the 15 lumens. You can barely see the hotspot. So this concludes the review on the SureFire G2X LED flashlight, and I'll try to find a darker area where I can do a longer range testing, and I'll be using this for everyday life, and I'll update if there's anything come up, and let me know in the comment section if you guys like or don't like this light. And as always, please support the channel by subscribing, and see you guys next time.